This is Al Prophet.
And this is Night Train 357.
And this is Trolling for Friends.
But we take the online rage
offline.
How you doing today, man?
I'm chilling, man. We had some technical difficulties, man. We're trying to get over it, man. Technical difficulties.
Oh, yeah. We are doing this a little bit different today. So we got the split screen going on, like it's like CNN.
Yeah. Did we say online range, offline?
I think offline? I said offline. I think I did the offline this time.
Okay, well, we're taking. This is Trolling for Friends. We take the online range
offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just trying to get it right, man. All right. Well, we're doing it a little different today.
Keep that in. We're rolling live. Dude, we're gonna do it live.
Absolutely.
What is that?
We had a little difficulty in the technical sense in take one, but we're back. And
I don't know what you're talking about. This is the first take.
Oh yes.
Get Jay-Z. 50 grand. I get 50 grand. I get this in one take.
Yeah. So season 2, episode 2. Absolute Candor.
All
right.
Okay. Why are we called Candor? Why is it called Absolute Candor?
I was going to ask you.
I was going to ask you.
Yes. Why are we calling it Absolute?
I was asking you so that you wouldn't have to ask me.
Oh, okay. Trying to catch the sarcasm.
Yes.
All right, listen. All right. I am adopting a new doctrine, like the Bush doctrine.
Okay.
Which is called the way of absolute candor.
Okay.
So, you know what candor is, right?
I think, isn't that like a planet in Star Wars?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. I know Absolute Carnage. Great Spider-Man reference.
So if one has candor, that means that he has no cut cards.
Right.
So if one has absolute candor, that means he really has no cut cards. So I'm adopting the way of absolute candor, which emphasizes the total communication of emotions without filter between thought and word, resulting in being blunt and direct in conversation.
So apparently you've never seen that episode of Dave Chappelle where keeping it real goes wrong.
I have.
Okay, well then why would you do that? Because being real, everybody can't take the real, bruh. Like you can go to a restaurant like that and be like, yo, the service was terrible. And then somebody's spitting and you're pissing in your food and you like, why does this soup tastes like asparagus? Cause you real, nigga. Like what? Like I don't know, man. I don't know. Is that an absolute rule or is that just in general?
No. That's not an absolute rule.
Okay.
However, in certain cases, I'm going to adapt absolute candor. Like during the podcast, I will be candor.
Yeah, you should.
My candor will be at a high point.
But you're not gonna be like walking up to your grandma and be like, "Yeah, you look fat in them jeans, grandma."
No.
That's a candor. You can't do that.
During political conversations and podcasts, I'm gonna go by the way of candor.
Okay.
The way of absolute candor.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
You know what I
mean? So how was your week?
My weekend, we went to Miami. You know, Nisha runs a marathon, so we went to Miami. Every year we do it. And she ran the 5K and a half marathon.
Okay.
I don't want to put no lies on her. She didn't run a marathon. She has completed 6 marathons already.
That's amazing.
But she's run about 15 half marathons and umpteen 5K. So her half marathon game is strong. Her marathon game, she's trying to keep it strong. But her 5K, she does that like in the blink of an eye. But we went to Miami and we stayed on South Beach. and the marathon runs right past our hotel. So when she runs past, she normally texts me, goes, "Hey, I'll be there at 8:30. I'll be through there at 8:30." Like, because marathons, they start that joint like 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So she's already like running 2.5 hours before she gets to
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of running. That's a lot of running.
Yeah, Ooh. Yeah. So that was my weekend. That was some. I did some other stuff. Oh. We rented our. We have a rental apartment.
Okay.
A rental property that we rented out. We fixed it up. We spent about six grand fixing it up. Painting, new locks, windows, flooring, things of that nature, and we got a couple with a daughter in there as of yesterday. So that's something we do and investing into the hood. We do have we're just trying to make $1 million, man. Try to make $1 million any kind of way.
Yeah, you got a new site coming. You got something working on that's coming out in July, right? Well, you and Nisha, right?
We got our new website coming out called alanisha.com. Okay. It's a one-stop shopping for all of our businesses,
right.
And we have a shitload of small businesses that we've started over the years that it's impossible to kind of run it down past somebody in a conversation.
Right.
So, we decided to come up with a website that you'll be able to click on and see what you need. And we have things from Notary Republic to designing T-shirts to designing logos to managing lead databases to
possible
private investigation.
Possible hit. I was about to say possible hitman. like is it like right? Is it like Alanisha? We get shit done, no questions asked.
Listen, man, I don't want to leave no stone unturned, man. Yeah. I want all the money out there. And
right.
I was telling Nisha this today. I was like, Nisha, man, aren't you tired of chasing this money and chasing this contract here or that contract there? I want to centralize the contracts. I want to be able to say click and boom and pay online and all of that, man.
Right.
So that was my weekend. And how about you?
Nothing really much happened, man. I've been crunching.
Oh, sorry.
I can still hear it. Don't see. You gotta see now. I gotta cover up that was a sponsor right there. That was a potential sponsor. I don't want them making any money, so I don't even want to know what their name was. You know what I'm saying? So I got no, bleep it out. No, that won't work. I gotta stop doing it. All right, so now I gotta figure out.
It's still in the shot.
So yeah, I ain't do much. I work and just kind of focusing on music and just doing a lot of different art projects, here and there right now. I got 2 music videos that I'm finishing scripts for. You're in one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see the picture that I sent you?
I did.
Yeah.
When is that video coming out? I'm anxious, man.
I'm an indie artist, so as soon as I get some money. I mean, be real, I can't I ain't the big pros that be coming out with that joint right off the bat, But yeah, we did that. We did some stuff with Trap Rock. Ethan Spalding is coming out with Honey Buns. The video just dropped, which was great. So yeah, I was looking forward to that. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay,
did you troll anybody this week?
I did.
You see how I segued into that?
That was genius. That was ingenious, man.
I'm trying. So it's just an illustrious podcast.
Yes. So I have named this girl I named her Hotep Hoe. The reason I named her Hotep Hoe is, do you know what Hotep is?
Yeah, extra woke. I call them bohos, bohemians. I call them bohos.
Yeah, so Hotep Hoe. I posted something. I know we all are familiar with the Oprah and the Gayle situation going on right now.
I am vaguely, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Right. So anyway, people were online, upset with her about the Kobe situation. And then they tried to say that she and Gayle are proactively trying to destroy the black man.
That's pretty deep.
That is like what they're actually trying to say. This is what their ulterior motive is.
Didn't Oprah
their main mission is to because of R. Kelly
and Michael Jackson
and Michael Jackson. I don't care.
Isn't she like one of the main contributors of like the African American History Museum?
Absolutely.
Like, okay.
Absolutely.
If you did wrong, you did wrong. That's and it's like I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So everyone knows, that I am a ambassador, a brand ambassador, and a what do they call us? A member of the Blacksonian, right?
Yes.
So we know Oprah did a lot for that. Oprah put up a lot of money for that there, man. She was instrumental in that. She
put her money where her mouth is.
Absolutely. I mean, Oprah is down for the woke squad.
And you can't agree with every single decision that person makes.
Right. So anyway, they started posting pictures of her and Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and blah blah blah, as if she has a special relationship with them. I mean, she's in Hollywood. Everyone has pictures with Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
He was a powerful industry man. Snoop has pictures with him. Snoop was in 3 of his movies, for Christ's sake. I think the hookup was a Harvey Weinstein film.
Right. Miramax, he did a lot of stuff. Chasing Amy, he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So how are you trying to link this man with her?
Because of a picture. Let me play opposing troll before you go into that. Let me play opposing troll. I'm just curious. I got this question. So she takes a picture with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm just playing devil's advocate. She takes a picture with Jeffrey Epstein or some other scuzzy motherfucker for whatever reason, right?
Right.
What is the difference between her taking that picture and, say, Donald Trump taking a picture with someone like Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein? What is the difference?
The difference is what they're saying is she's black, one.
Okay.
And she has made several documentaries, quote unquote, trying to destroy the black man's career,
credibility, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Legitimacy of the black person, man.
Right.
Okay.
We all know that. Donald Trump, we don't care. He's already a racist. We know that.
Right. When we see
people are mad because they think that she's betraying her race.
Right. When he takes a picture when she takes a picture with a scuzz bag.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily add up to all of her positive attributes and philanthropy. When Trump takes a picture of a scuzz bag, it realigns with all of his scuzziness, which we already know. The philanthropy level is like non-existent, Trump University, and then there's constant sexism and disgusting stuff that ties into the nature with these other sleaze bags, like the owner of the Patriots and the massage parlors and all that kind of stuff. It all kind of adds up. I don't see Gayle King or Oprah Winfrey hanging out at massage parlors in Florida. So okay, I just wanted to clear that up. But continue.
So anyway, Hotep Hoe, I post this on something on Facebook. I get a lot of action on Facebook. So I was laughing out loud. Quotations. A lot of Oprah's friends are sexual predators, end quote. Because people were saying, a lot of her friends are sexual predators, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, that's like saying a lot of my friends are drug dealers and murderers, without mentioning that a lot more are honest, hard-working people.
Okay, that seems pretty direct.
So I just put it out there.
Right.
I
You
got
know,
a lot of.
you got a lot of likes, loves, laughs.
Yeah. So apparently, like this Hotep Hoe has been in and out of my comments over the last couple of days. So this time she hopped on and goes, and I call her Hotep Hoe because I always go to their page,
Right.
and see what they are.
Right.
So she got head wrap on and
Extra woke with a booty shot. Extra woke with a booty shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
She got.
I like dreads. I also like booty. Booty is more important than water.
So she responds and goes, well, maybe you should reword your point because I don't know if you're saying what you're intended to communicate.
Right.
Now, you can read what I wrote, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's a mistake what I'm saying. So I come back, crack smack back at it, go, maybe you should keep up with the class. And STFU, which means shut the fuck up.
Right.
I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. FOH, which is fuck out of here. So, this is me being already annoyed because she already hopped on another post with some dumb shit.
So this is the first time, this is the second time you guys have been back and forth, right?
Right.
Wow.
So, later on, we kind of had a long back and forth to the point where she was like, does your wife know that you requested me as a friend? Because at one point I was like, get off my page. She was like, you requested me. I was like, I don't remember that. And she was like, does your wife know you requested me as a friend?
It's getting personal.
And I was like,
she had somebody's hair salon getting her thumbs a workout.
Like she can't like I was like my wife cares that our friend requested you. like my wife has all my passwords to every phone, to all my emails, to my social media, blah blah blah, because of trust.
Right.
And I don't.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. She's trying to drag you down in the mud. But I'm looking at this thing right now too. It says she says something about you taking an L.
Yeah, read that.
Yeah. I love you. How that L. I love you. How that L.
Maybe she should reread and rewrite that.
Yeah, I just reread it. Yeah. But that's the sign of angry messages, because they got the edit button on Facebook, so you could easily just fix that joint. I love you. How that L. Very nice. You take the L a lot, huh? You're a pro. At least you got the you're right. Y-O-U-R-E. Good.
Absolutely. Yeah,
she gets a point.
Okay.
And then you say, are you still here? You look like you can take the D a lot, huh? You're a pro. Let's keep going. I'm very good at this shit. Plus, I have zero chill. Then the next thing I see is, couldn't load comment thread. This comment has been expired. So I guess
that's a little misleading.
You
because
won.
We went on for a while after this.
It would be funny if it just ended like that. If it was like a...
The point is, she eventually ended the conversation.
Like Danny McBride with the middle fingers.
She kept coming back. And kept coming back.
Some people got nothing else to do.
And not knowing that I'm just trolling for friends. That's what I'm doing. She got trapped.
Should we have her on the show?
You may say that she trolled me, but
I didn't say. Nah. She did. Looking at that, she didn't troll you. I mean, she definitely. I guess it depends on what the definition of a troll is, because if it's because she dragged you into the mud, and that could be considered a form of trolling. That could be considered a form of winning the troll if she's constantly dragging it out. That is trolling. The textbook definition is you're out there to pick an argument and to suck up time. And it's like, nothing's worse than trolling and fussing and fighting with somebody and then getting that notice on your iPhone that you spent 58% more screen time than you usually do. And it's like, so yeah,
I was traveling back from Miami, so I had a lot of time.
See, I play video games, so read a book, but you be killing niggas online, so I don't know.
Yo, I'm trolling for friends. They should know this already. Some of my friends already know when they don't even hop in. You know what they're saying?
I don't hop in at all.
No, he's trolling for friends, man.
I don't hop in. I don't hop in at all. I don't hop in at all for that reason.
They're like, yo, he's trolling for friends, man.
Yeah, that's what you do. Fuck out of here. FOH.
Right. But anyway, let's move on to the next joint.
Well, we did actually bring up the subjects. We need to talk about what we're going to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
That was just the trolling for Owl News, but we'll be talking about the gravity broom in a second. We're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to be quick on this because I don't want to talk about this motherfucker forever. Trump, Donald Dingus, and the. Well, let me see. Gayle King and this debacle. I want to know more about this because personally, I've been following it like that. Snoop and all this kind of stuff.
I'll break it down.
We're going to talk about this stripper fail, which I think is pretty funny.
Okay.
This Orlando Brown got knocked out.
Stripper fall.
Huh?
Stripper fall.
Stripper. Oh, that would I say? Stripper fall? What did I say?
mean, it was a fail.
Oh, fall or fail?
It was a fail, but she fell. She fell.
She fell and falled.
Yeah,
She double F.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
Orlando Brown. I don't know. Some dude who run. I guess it's a rule. Like your name got to be Orlando, so you got to work for Disney.
Orlando Brown, man. You know my man from That's So Raven. Man,
I never watched. That was my sister. That was my sister's favorite show. I remember when Raven was on the Cosbys. That's about it for me.
Right.
Let me see what else. Two men posing as Wu-Tang Clan members. I got funny things to say about that.
Okay.
And we got a little bit of talk. We're going to talk a little bit about Bad Boys. We're going to spoiler-free Bad Boys review from the #1 troll, and also some nerd news about Picard, which I'm very interested to hear from because I've been wondering if I'm going to get that CBS All Access. So let's go right into it. Let's talk about this gravity broom. What the fuck is going on with science? What happened when science used to help people?
So apparently, this is what the internet does.
Right.
The internet makes people believe everything.
Because the internet's true.
I mean, when I say everything, I mean everything, man. Like, okay, I'm flying back. We're in a plane. We landing. My wife looks over and goes, "Did you hear that? NASA said it's a gravity something going on and stand brooms up." And I'm like, "Nah, I didn't see that, right?" So I open up my stuff and everybody on my whole timeline trying to stand up their broom. Look, it's look. I'm saying to myself, here we go with the followers again. Mm-hmm. Everybody got to do because I don't do challenges. We talked about this in like episode 1 or 2 of season 1. I was like, yo, I don't do challenges.
Well, we need to do a get Night Train money challenge. Like I need something that's going to help me out because these gravity broom thing, it's just a passing fact. I don't know.
It's crazy. So anyway, what happened was apparently, I don't know, somebody said NASA said that the gravity was different. The gravity pull on Earth on that day was different, so it allows you to stand the broom up straight up.
Right.
And everybody was doing it. We even got home and my wife tried it, and it worked. But I'm like, I told her before she did it, I was like, yo, the broom is flat. It's gonna stand up. What do you mean? It's gonna stand up. Apparently, there's no NASA.
Right. There's nothing scientific about this at all.
Nothing. Right? Because
the planets align. Blah blah blah. Ancient aliens. Yeah.
And they did it, and people went for it. So
I can't wait to see the Ancient Alien special, the Ghost Adventurer special. Is an unearthly being here to change our brooms?
Crazy.
Aliens. I don't know, but yeah, it's more about mob mentality. It's really about mob mentality because I don't get it.
Well, going to the next joint. We're gonna get some laughs out of this.
Okay,
Trump just tweeted a clip. Go ahead.
I can't wait. No, go ahead.
Trump just tweeted a clip from a TV show that was totally making fun of him.
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
First of all, I love
Curb Your Enthusiasm too. So apparently Trump retweeted a video of Larry David. He did a whole episode, apparently you told me, right?
Yeah.
That where he was riding around with the MAGA hat to keep.
Have you not seen it?
I haven't seen it.
I
no.
gotta let you. You gotta see it. When we're done with this, I gotta send you a link because you gotta see this. It's fucking hilarious. Like it'll. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the screen. We're gonna play it. So basically, a Harley Davidson bike rider is riding up. He cut him off in traffic.
What the heck? Yeah, it's just this is ridiculous. He comes
So
off.
Larry puts on the MAGA hat and the dude just says, no problem.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir. And what you don't see from this is that he's basically wearing this hat in the first episode, which was controversial for some reason, but he was wearing the hat so that he would keep people away. It was like a people repellent. It was like, he'd be sitting in a sushi bar and suddenly a very obnoxious looking couple would want to sit next to him, and then he'd put the hat on and he'd say, come and sit down, come in. And they say, actually, we're going to sit somewhere else. Like, that is literally, it tacks up with something that George Costanza would do, Larry David from Seinfeld.
Right.
So it just, I was rolling at how uncomfortable it made me feel. And here goes the stupidest president of the United States trolling himself. Like how do you not get that? I guess I'll give stupid the benefit of the doubt and say, out of context, sure, absolutely, it totally makes sense if you think that Larry David is a racist and MAGA hots and bikers go hand in hand, and yes, Donald Trump, pass it on. But if you know anything about that humor, or even saw one more clip from the episode explaining why he wears that fucking hat, Donald's stupid, you would not be posting up this shit. I should just, what else can we post that Donald would think is a compliment to him, but really a smite? Like, I need to find something. I'm sure there's something out there that else that he's tweeted that he's like, see, these people get it, and it's like a bunch of monkeys throwing shit at each other with MAGA hats on. I don't know.
Hilarious.
He is. I will say this: he is a terrible human being, but he is quite entertaining. Man.
That's your president.
That's your president.
No.
Ask him when I got married. Ask me.
Let's move.
When the president was black. When the president was black. Hey, your president. Shit.
And your Lambo was blue?
No, I didn't go that far. I ain't got no blue Lambo. I got a blue Dinobot. I got a G2 Dino Grimlock.
All right, so
okay. So explain to me this Gayle thing, because I know I'm half of trolling for friends, but sometimes this shit is just too much for me to bear. And honestly, I stayed away from this story. And I stayed away from this story because I needed the story to play itself out.
Yes.
This is a situation. This is bandwagon number one where people jump the gun on their comments. We talked a little bit about this with that person you were arguing with. They jump into a situation too fast without actually knowing all the details, and so it's like people would say, I remember off camera you were like, "Yo, let's talk about this Gayle thing," and I'm thinking, what happened? And I'm literally thinking what happened because this is an ongoing shit show. So before the chapter closes, explain to me what the hell is going on.
So I'm going to explain each stage from start to finish. It's definitely the chapter has closed, right?
Story time.
So we know Kobe tragically passed away.
Yes.
Right? We also know that 20 years ago, Kobe was accused of rape.
Damn,
right?
that was on 20 years ago.
It was like 17 years ago.
Yeah, but it's still a long, it wasn't yesterday.
Right. And it was the shady circumstances involved, but yet and still he still was accused of rape.
Right, he had a settlement but
he paid off, whatever, right?
Right. Black mark on his otherwise sterling record.
Right. So we're talking legacy. So there's good parts of your legacy and there's bad parts of your legacy, right?
Right.
So he died tragically. Sorry, Kobe.
Yeah. Nobody should die like that, no matter what they do. Period. Unless it's Hitler.
So Gayle had an interview with Lisa Leslie. You know, she played for the L.A. Sparks. That's what they call.
Is that what they are? The ladies?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, Lisa Leslie she's a legend, right? But she also was cool with Kobe from the Lakers organization because the Sparks are part of the Lakers organization, and they went to the Olympics together. They're very good friends.
Okay.
So Gayle had a hour-long meeting interview with Lisa Leslie,
right.
And in that meeting, Gayle asked this. I'm gonna play it for you. Let's get it to the bottom of the screen. As soon as it rolls up, here we go.
It's been said that his legacy is complicated because of the sexual assault charge, which was dismissed in 2003, 2004. Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player?
It's not complicated for me at all. Even if there's a few times that we've been at a club at the same time, Kobe's not the kind of guy, never been like, you know, Lisa, go get that girl or tell her or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that. Kobe's, he was never like that. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible. I just don't believe that. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it?
Question is inbounds.
You think it is? You think it's imbalanced or imbalanced?
Inbounds.
Oh,
I think
inbound.
it's all fair. I think it's a fair question.
Okay.
What do you think?
You know, I think it's fair. I think that
I mean, let's absolute candor, baby. Absolute candor.
That's your
baby.
candor. That's your candor. Look,
I mean, listen, don't be fake. Absolute candor. What do you think?
You know, I believe that people's legacy is complicated. Period. And you know, at the same time, there are certain things. I find it. I personally, listening to it now, I find it a little bit in poor taste.
Okay.
Based off of the breadth of him as a person. And the reason I say that is because we are in a world where controversy sells.
Okay.
Oprah knows this, Gayle knows this, everybody knows this. That we tend to talk about the worst of people instead of the best of people. We bitch and complain all day versus actually look at the breadth of somebody and their integrity overall. Like you said, this was 17 to almost 20 years ago. So you talking about some stuff that happened that was not a great mark, that out of all the things around his legacy, maybe the whole interview will say something different, but if it was a breadth of his career as a whole,
right,
that would make things different. You know, hearing a couple of questions about rape allegations and is one thing compared to, you know, the championships he did, the philanthropy he's done, the reconciliation with his wife. I mean, talking about Kobe Bryant is a different conversation than talking about Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein or somebody who was just repeat scuzzbucket. It's like, damn, he was young, he was in basketball, he did something kind of fucked up. Yes, absolutely, it needs to be brought into the forefront as a whole of his legacy. But when you only focus on those negative parts, when you have a 20-plus career of positivity, I feel some kind of way about that. I'm not on the you know, they trying to destroy our black folks and representation and because I actually unfriended somebody because they just, the first thing that came out of their mouth was, oh, well, he was a rapist. And I'm like, so that mean I need to burn up my $100, my $1 bills because George Washington was a slave?
Well, I don't believe he was a rapist. And
Yeah, I don't either. I'm
not saying that. But the details of the situation I can get into. So I respect your view on this.
Okay.
And I understand it because, I believe it might have been a little bit too soon. So before this happened, I wanted to know this question. I wanted to talk about it because I think it's part of his legacy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so I had a conversation with my boy Floyd. I swear it was like 2 days before it. I was like, is it too soon to talk about Kobe's rape allegations? Right? And he was like, it's too soon. It might be too soon. And I was like, I don't know. Anyway, and then 2 days later, Gayle stuff came out.
Right. No chill. No chill.
I actually thought it was a bit too soon, but at the same time, you are a journalist. We are to ask the tough questions, the questions that other people do not want to ask. And it may be a negative part of his legacy.
Yes.
But it is
part of his legacy.
Part of his legacy.
It is. It totally is.
And out of respect, I understand why people might want to have brought it up at this particular time, or maybe they never wanted to bring it up. But she wouldn't be a member of the media. She is a journalist and a champion of the Me Too movement if she did not ask that question.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what other questions she asked. That's mainly my issue. Ask that question, but ask some other shit. She only asked
that's the only part they talked about. They had an hour-long interview. She talked about a lot of other shit. There was only one part.
Okay, then that does change things. That changes things. If you have an hour conversation, and how long was that clip? Like a minute?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If you have a minute clip where you're talking about that one thing, that changes a lot of things because now you're talking about the breadth of his legacy. Now, if that was an hour-long conversation about this rape allegation that happened in the early 2000s, then I got a problem with that. I have a problem with them making documentaries about Michael Jackson with falsified information. Sorry.
Right.
I'm saying it right now. I got a Michael Jackson thing on my wall. I'm not taking my poster.
That people may have because these people are the heroes.
But it's
Michael Jackson.
So that's what Snoop was calling Gayle for?
So this is Snoop's first video. He comes out. First of all, the whole internet hops on Gayle. They dragging her. You already know mob mentality is on.
Mentality. So now Snoop, the same people on them brooms.
Gayle King, out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that? I swear to God, we the worst. We the fucking worst. We expect more from you, Gayle. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why y'all attacking us? We your people. You ain't coming after fucking Harvey Weinstein asking them dumbass questions. I get sick of y'all. I want to call you one. Is it okay if I call her one? Funky dog head bitch. How dare you try to tarnish my motherfucking homeboy's reputation, punk motherfucker. Respect the family and back off, bitch, before we come get you.
What's your first reaction?
Anger.
At who?
No, not at anybody. My first reaction is observing a response to frustration.
Okay.
I don't feel anything from that clip. I don't feel anything. I feel indifferent, but I understand the frustration. I do not agree with the terms.
Right.
Justifying your. I was actually listening to a podcast of Talib Kweli and Mike Rappaport, which I love Kweli and Mike Rappaport. And a similar thing happened to Mike Rappaport where he kind of went on somebody after they snapped on him. And so he snapped back, and it was not appropriate. It wasn't seen as appropriate, and they had a conversation about it, But, Snoop is notorious for just going out there. Like, that's a Snoop brand thing. Like, it's like, when the gloves are off and it's like, yo, it's time to flip. Like, I still don't watch the Grammys after that rant that Q-Tip had with Ninth Wonder.
Right.
Like, so it's interesting. It's more like, man, dude, you didn't have to go there, but you know, it's like I understand your rage. I don't understand the solution to you. I don't agree with how you handled it. That's candor that goes wrong.
Right.
That's candor that goes wrong.
Well, I mean, you could tell anybody anything is how you say it, right?
Right.
So he could have told Gayle King that she was wrong, and you know, without calling her a funky dog head bitch.
Yeah, that's rage. That's right. You know, it's funny. On a lesser scale, you know Waka Flocka, right? Yeah. So Waka Flocka said some stuff a couple years ago. He was talking about it was something about him, you know, respecting hip hop and da da da. And Method Man got up on a radio show and was talking all this shit about how Waka Flocka is trash. He can't rap. Da 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 da. We didn't rap like that back in the day because you know he OG. And the response that Waka Flocka had was poised and respectful and uncharacteristically understandable. It was like, no, I don't want to disrespect greats, but what I tried to do creatively is take it to another level. And I was like, damn, I got respect for this man.
So
then Meth apologized. Meth immediately
let me tell you
apologized.
something about Waka Flocka, right? So Waka Flocka's mother is Debbie. She's an old gangster from Queens. They from Queens.
Okay.
All right. His uncle, I ain't gonna mention his name, was a Supreme Team capo.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Supreme Team was.
No.
That's they was some legendary Queens gangsters.
Okay.
And they nationwide, you know who they are.
Okay.
Right, so just if you get a chance, Google Supreme Team.
I probably heard that dropped in a line from the Queensbridge rapper.
If you look, no, not yeah. Well, Nas probably mentioned them, but more 50 really mentioned them because 50 was a product of the Supreme Team's drug game.
Right.
But his mother, Debbie, is her brother. He works for Def Jam now. I'm not going to say his name, but he's Waka's uncle.
There's an Al story. Uh-oh. It's like I know a couple people, but I can't say no names. Right. What about that Candor, though? What about that Candor?
Can't have Candor during that right here. We can't do that. That's called dry snitching in the hood. So can't do that.
Okay.
But he's been trained by some of the best. Like I said, his mother's a legendary music manager in the game. She managed she manages Waka, but she managed like who Floyd. Who else? Debbie managed? Nicki Minaj, Gucci. When early Nicki, right? And when she was managing Gucci and Nicki, they was at the same time.
That's LD.
Yeah,
was that LD?
That's my man Floyd.
Oh, that's
Shout
Floyd.
out to Floyd. Floyd World. Live every Monday live. What's the radio station, sir?
Hey, bro, let's get on your radio station. You need a sponsor.
Listen FM. Yeah, I gotta give my man a shout out. But anyway, he was trained by some legendary gangsters, so his response is probably gonna be beyond his years anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that doesn't surprise me that Waka, gonna come like that.
But then Meth saying I'm sorry in a response, I saw a correlation between the rage that not necessarily this, obviously not the same situations, but that rage that was felt when Meth was flipping out. No, I'm sorry. In that situation, Method Man is Gayle and Waka is Snoop, and the way that Waka responded is what I would hope Snoop would respond as. You are OG, man. You can't let this stuff get underneath. Can't get to you.
Right. Snoop is a grown ass man. He got a mother. He got daughters. He got a wife. Why you call another sister? I don't care. And that hurt. But he was hurt.
He shouldn't have said it, but
that sparked an interesting conversation. I meant to find this video, but I couldn't find it. But it talks about how we as a black community have not learned how to deal with grief.
That's now you're getting deep, man.
Yeah, they went deep in it.
Very deep.
Yeah, so that was his way of dealing with grief by calling her a funky dog face bitch.
You know how I feel about that. I've said it time and time again. I don't call no woman the B word, except one that ran up some bills.
So after he says
a roommate
that,
I had, but other than that, I don't call no one a B word. But yeah, I do. Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
So after he says that, Gayle responds, and she says,
"Okay,
I've been up reading the comments about the interview I did with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant. And I know that if I had only seen the clip that you saw, I'd be extremely angry with me too. I am mortified, I'm embarrassed, and I am very angry. Unbeknownst to me, my network put up a clip from a very wide-ranging interview, totally taken out of context, and when you see it that way, it's very jarring. It's jarring to me. I didn't even know anything about it. I started getting calls. What the hell are you doing? Why did you say this? What is happening? I did not know what people are talking about. So I've been told, or I've been advised, to say nothing. Just let it go. People will drag you. People will troll you. It'll be over in a couple of days. But that's not good enough for me, because I really want people to understand.
Thoughts?
Yours first.
I think she copped out a little bit. I would have bit the bullet. I would have said, I said what I said. I'm a journalist. I apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings. I did not mean to be insensitive. However, this is a subject that is a part of his legacy.
Yes.
And
which is what we just talked about.
And I wanted to address it, just to get her take on it, right? So people kind of felt it was phony. So they was dragging it too. Shut the fuck up, bitch. So basically, Snoop gave the whole internet license to basically disrespect and drag Gayle.
Weren't we singing her praise when R. Kelly was screaming?
And that's my point.
Her?
When R. Kelly was the villain, everybody was on her side.
Yeah, but everybody on the internet just needs somebody to be angry at. They don't even know what their frustration is for. It's like you got
mentality.
all this.
That's what I'm trying to say.
One of the reasons I stay off the internet.
Mentality.
One of the reasons I just can't. I can't be dragged into that, man. I got money to make. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just can't drag into this shit, because it's just like, they picked out the one negative thing out of an hour interview, and then everyone goes ham. It's just really sad. It says a lot about society, man. It's just really sad. It's like she shouldn't have to respond to that, but Snoop shouldn't have to say that, and it's like, can we read a book before we open the cover? Like, come on, man. Damn. Anyway, right. What was the response?
Basically, like I said, the people dragged her.
Okay.
But also, people were starting to drag Snoop.
Right.
Like, people who had, like, reasoning ability. I'm not talking about the mob mentality people. I'm talking about people like...
That have common damn sense.
Yeah, Michael Eric Dyson said something. He's like,
I saw that. I saw some clip about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Starting to say, you're bugging. Lamont. What's my man name? Floyd. What's my man name? Lamont. Morehouse Professor. He was on CNN.
I know you're talking about.
You know his name? Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah.
Mark Lamont Hill had said something.
He went
like,
on
you're
him.
Bugging. Yeah. What are you doing? La 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 la.
It's kind of one of those. It's kind of like one of those things where, you can be angry, but the first person to just scream out profanity first and just start name calling loses. Personally, that's what I feel.
Right. So apparently, with the dragging that Snoop was getting on the internet by the OGs and his moms, and don't forget, what is Susan Rice?
So everybody coming at it.
Susan Rice went at Snoop, said, "You're bugging out. You know what I mean? Don't make us come get you."
Okay.
So then Snoop says this.
Top of the morning, Big Snoop Dogg, coming at you live and direct with a message. Two wrongs don't make no right. When you're wrong, you gotta fix it. So with that being said, Gayle King, I publicly tore you down by coming at you in a derogatory manner based off of emotions, me being angry at questions that you asked. Overreacted. I should have handled it way different than that. I was raised way better than that. So I would like to apologize to you publicly for the language that I used and calling you out of your name and just being disrespectful. I didn't mean for it to be like that. I was just expressing myself for a friend that wasn't here to defend himself. A lot of people look up to me and they love me and they appreciate me, so I want to let them know that anytime you mess up, it's okay to fix it. It's okay to man up and say that you're wrong. I apologize. Hopefully we can sit down and talk privately. Have a good day.
Thoughts?
You know, two thoughts. Number one, I guess all's well that ends well. Number
Right.
two, the point of this was completely missed. Kobe's dead. Kobe's legacy. Kobe's gone. That is what's important. We lost people, important people that are adding value to our society and us as African Americans.
Right.
None of this matters. None of this. That's what it says to me. It says none of this fucking matters. And you know, I'm never gonna meet Snoop. You know, but if I did, it wouldn't be the first thing that popped into my head as, oh yeah, you called this woman a bitch or any of this stuff. But man, you know, it's like, it's so not necessary. It's nothing but nigga moments. That's what it feels like. Nothing but nigga moments. It's like, if you just thought about what you said before you said it for one fucking minute, then you wouldn't have to worry about any kind of backlash. The internet is unforgiving. The trolls are out. The mob mentality is, everybody has I feel like everybody out in the internet has a chip on their fucking shoulders and they're waiting for the right thing to cling on to implode. If it wasn't this, they'd be sitting in their kitchen balancing brooms. Like, they just need something to be fucking crazy about.
Right.
Read a book, people. That's what I say. Read a fucking book. That mic drop. That's what I say about the whole thing. And I'm glad that I didn't know as much shit or didn't glue myself to this, because that's a whole story. That probably what happened like in a week. Like a week, 2 weeks, something like that. Like, yeah. So you can't get the whole story. You know what I'm saying? People want a movie ending. They want that shit to be reconciled in hours. Like, yo, give it a minute.
So now Gayle and Snoop are, you know, she came back and she didn't make a video, but basically she was like, you know, I forgive Snoop for that, blah, 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 blah.
Be the better person.
Right.
Shout out to Martha.
You seen that video?
No, I didn't see it.
And Ellen posted.
Oh, no, I didn't see that video.
Oh, God.
But yeah, Snoop is bigger than that, and you know, I'm glad he did. I'm glad he changed. I'm glad he didn't have the rage incline. I will say this about this. As much as I disagree with what Snoop did, the fact that he was able to take a step back, that's real nigga shit. That's admitting that you're wrong. That's hard for men, especially black men, to do, because we always got to be right. For whatever reason, it was burned into our skulls. And to step up and say, you know what, I apologize. I wonder if our president could do that. But yeah, to say I'm sorry.
His
I will give him
pressed
that.
him out. His mother pressed him out. Like, are you crazy? That's like when Jay-Z and Nas was going at it.
Right, and their mothers were like, "Yo, we don't want another Biggie. We don't want to be singing hymns with Mrs. Wallace." Like,
when Jay-Z went too far,
and
it was super ugly, man.
Yeah. And that is right. We need to just chill out, because it's always somebody. This is why we do Trolling for Friends. This is to take the online range offline. This is because if you let that shit bubble up, you're running down to Charlottesville with a goddamn tiki torch.
That was a prime example of online rage.
Oh my God, that
whole
was
Kobe shit. Anyway,
God.
Next subject.
Ooh, let's keep it rolling.
Stripper fall.
Yeah, let's. Oh, this is funny. This is much more lighthearted. I like this. So apparently, this stripper just keep playing it. And I want to keep talking. Apparently, this stripper just like that's the tallest pole I think I've ever seen in my life. But she has to be at least 10 feet up, like 12 feet up, and she just completely slams down. But the OG that she is, she actually continues to twerk, and that is impressive. And if I had those St. George Washingtons I mentioned earlier, I would be making it rain.
She hit her whole face on the
floor. But watch how she keep going. Yeah. Gangster shit. Candor. She was real. And I was like,
she
yo.
broke her jaw. She broke her jaw. I think something wrong with her hand.
You ever been hit like hit really hard, but you don't feel it right away, you just keep going? Yeah, that's her natural instinct.
That's called that. Yeah, of course. That's called
adrenaline.
Adrenaline, bro.
Yeah. That's all. It was just twerking adrenaline. It was like,
and she didn't want to embarrass herself. She played. That level of playing off.
Yeah.
Was on 1,000. She played that off. Wow.
I did.
I'd
buy that for
I was just doing a dance move.
Right. You fake it till you make it. Right. Now when she got backstage, she was like, my face.
She got backstage, man. Shorty was crying, man.
She went to the ER paid in cash.
So anyway,
all ones.
She apparently she just quit stripping. I saw something today. She quit stripping. She retired.
Good for her.
Wendy Williams gave her like $10,000.
Wendy Williams, I don't want. I take $10,000 from Wendy Williams. I wouldn't take Wendy Williams. I could do a whole podcast about how I don't like Wendy Williams. But
niggas is watching what's the name in the studio? Friday in the studio and shit. That's a classic movie.
For real. So what about this Orlando Brown knockout thing? You had to explain to me who Orlando Brown was, because I don't watch.
I can't believe I had to do that. I mean,
I don't watch that shit, man. My sister watched that Raven shit. I don't know nothing about no psychic. Man. No, she doesn't. She's not black. She's not black.
Everybody besides you knows who Orlando Brown is, bro.
I thought you were talking about Orlando Bloom. I was like Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
No, Orlando Brown is. Orlando Brown is the.
Right, he's a black guy. He's the black guy in that corny ass Raven
from
show.
Disney that was in That's So Raven, and he did some voiceovers for the Proud Family, and I
never watched the Proud Family. Never watched it.
But anyway, he's a Disney little black kid. So he has some. I mean, he's always been breaking the internet with viral instances where he's just speaking nonsense. He was on Dr. Oz just speaking total nonsense. Couldn't even no coherent word sentence together. That's how he's just incoherent. So apparently this video surfaced of him getting fucked up in a trap house. You know, we call it a spot, but the youngins call it trap house now. So he was up in the spot. I guess he was in there all day, all weekend, smoking, talking about, I pay you when my check clear. Somebody gonna send me some money. You know, some crackhead shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he couldn't produce the bread, and they fucked him up. I'm gonna play the video. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Oh, you playing it? Okay, there you go.
Because you play too fucking much. I swear to God, come again, bro. I'm my kids and I knock you the fuck out. Blood, you heard what I said? I knock your bitch ass out again, blood. Did you hear what I said the first time? Get up. Did you hear what I said the first time, bro? Fucking get your bitch ass out, blood. Bitch ass nigga. I keep telling your ass, my nigga. Stop fucking playing around here, nigga. Bro, come on. Come over here again, bro. My kids, I'm gonna knock your ass out again, nigga. Come on, one more time, bro. Come up here one more time, bro. My kids, I'm about to knock your ass out one more time, bro. My kids, nigga.
Basically, this is not news, and I'll tell you why it's not news. It's because I want to say this next line, and I want you to this next statement, and I want to see if you've heard this before. Troubled Disney teen.
Of course.
like gets in trouble and there's a video. Like, I feel like I've heard this before. I'm sure there's like 12 Mouseketeers right now somewhere in an orgy. Like, I don't know what's going on. Where it's like these child stars, like Gary Coleman working, rest in peace Gary Coleman, but Gary Coleman working in a fucking security guard being dicked on by these motherfuckers. Like, I feel like this shit is just it's kind of like, you know what it is? It's kind of, what's that basketball guy we were like 2 weeks ago? We were talking about the guy in Oxon Hill who was you know, the
yeah, Delonte West.
Delonte West. This is kind of how I feel about it. It's like, dude, your shit is, you down, man. You down and out, and you in a bad spot. I don't know. It doesn't.
Second week in a row, we had some downfall shit. Second week in a row. Last week was the downfall.
Yeah, that shit is depressing. Like, I want excellence from people. So when I see that, I'm just me personally, I don't think it's funny. I just shake my head. Like, man, that's fucked up. Like, yeah.
Anyway.
No. Yeah. Sorry. No.
So you could take this. You could take the next. You could take the next subject.
All right. Well, I love this because I'm a huge fan of the Wu, and this has got in my opinion, a tip of racism. But apparently, two men were posing as Wu-Tang Clan members in a scam to make more than $100,000 from the hotels. Yo, Wu, get your money, man. You know, it's like, I'm the 11th member of Wu-Tang. I feel like they just randomly said, you know, I'm childish. You know, I'm childish. You know, excellence or some random shit that they got up.
Yeah.
I'm Slizzer. And they were just like, oh, okay, yeah, we gonna be
and Rock Nation. They did Rock Nation too.
They did Rock Nation. Let me see what the men were charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and have you ever seen, what's that? You ever seen Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
I love that movie. Yeah. So for people who haven't seen Catch Me If You Can, it's about this guy named Frank Abagnale, and he pretty much like tricks people into giving him money because, you know, he outwits them in all sorts of different ways because of the way he looks and stuff like that.
Right, he impersonates doctors and pilots and things, and he starts cashing checks. He's flying all over the world.
Cashing checks, Pan Am and stuff like that. Then eventually the actual real Frank Abagnale, because the movie was based off of a real person, he actually works for the FBI to deal with fraudulent checks now. So
yes, he has a job now because he's the best.
So what I'm saying is these two motherfuckers need to get a job with the Wu-Tang Clan after they get this taken care of, because first of all, yo, you know, it's like if you say you from the Wu, these motherfuckers who are looking them up, they need to just Google search niggas first. You know, I don't know what was happening.
How could you be a hoteler and
because they don't
for that?
Because you listening to Bruce Springsteen and you don't know. Most people can't name you. Most people see You God on the street and they be like, "Who's You God?" They know Method Man, they know Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace, and they know like maybe RZA. But beyond everybody else, the average person who probably does not know the Wu like that, they probably don't. The RZA, the Jizza. Like, I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't get it.
I'm reading this shit. I'm going to cut you off, but it says, in news related to people actually involved with the legendary group affiliate, Papa Wu reportedly passed away back in December 2019.
Yes.
Wu was the oldest cousin of RZA and a relative of both ODB and Jizza. Yes. Had a large hand in helping the group being sent off. So I think they was acting like they was something to do with Papa Wu.
So yeah, as a hotel person, you know, you didn't vet things. That's really what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
the problem with the Wu-Tang too is that beyond the it's like 10 members, like 10 members.
Yeah.
Right? So beyond the 10 members, you have all these affiliates. You know, you got, you know, Killer Priest, which is he's a member of the Killer Bees, which is a subsection of the Wu.
I think it was Christbearer has something to do with this.
There's some managers that I know who even like live in Maryland who represent the Wu-Tang Clan. Like
I know those dudes.
You know, there's a couple cats out there. So that's hilarious, but that's an honest mistake. Like because I mean, you look like you part of the Wu-Tang. You look like you part of the Wu-Tang. Yeah.
I just come from that era, man. I'm trying to tell you that era is a different era. We built different as forged in steel, baby.
So 90s. why haven't you gotten any free hotels? What's wrong with you, man?
I pay for everything I do in my life.
But I think that's fucking hilarious. All right, so
Blurred news.
Well, before we get into our news, we need to call out our sponsor.
Oh yeah.
I'm on it.
Yes.
So this episode is brought to you by, and I'll let you see who's brought by.
This episode is brought to you by Home Confinement. You can catch it on YouTube. Here we go. Check it out.
Uncle! Uncle!
Yeah, check it out, man. Check it out.
Nice. That's a great show, man. That's a great show.
So let's wrap
That show is kind of ill because it kind of like it's a show about a guy who comes home from jail and has to live with his sister, and he has a home confinement bracelet on his ankle, and he has to babysit his nieces and nephews.
I'm gonna check that
So
out.
they talk about huh?
I was gonna say, I think I'm gonna check that out. That sounds interesting.
It's dope. It's dope. They talk about a lot of the issues, beating your kids, stuff like that. Shit we did.
Stuff that they wouldn't allow on like network television.
Absolutely. Home Confinement. Check it out. Shout out to African Poetry Theater.
Okay.
Shout out to King Smidge. Let's go.
All right. So let's wrap this up. This has been a long one, and this is a lot of stuff to cover.
I mean, we had a minute. We had a minute and 6 seconds. A minute and 6 minutes, right? I mean, hour and 6 minutes right now. We had some longer podcasts.
See, Bree isn't here, right? Because we're doing this. Bree isn't here telling us hurry up.
Hey, right. You're right. Bree's not on our neck.
She's not on our ass, right?
But anyway, Blurred News. Let's go.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about Bad Boys. Bad Boys for Life. Is it Bad Boys Forever or Bad Boys for Life?
I think it's Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life. You don't write rounds, you write checks.
Did you see it?
No, I ain't seen that joint yet.
I was around your way the other day. I saw it in the movie, in the Mystic, man.
Oh, really? Oh, well, so
the recliners. You get your own personal recliner seats in there and all that.
Those seats are very comfortable. They make bad movies.
Those seats are.
Was it better than? Was the seats more comfortable than the movie was good?
Yes. The only good thing about that experience was the fact that I could recline all the way back
and go to sleep
and watch and scroll on my phone. And you had your private. I had nobody behind me. That's your own private.
Oh, I know that. Great place for blowjobs. It's wonderful.
You got a wall behind you. I didn't hear what you said.
So spoiler free because I haven't seen it. I don't give a fuck about it. Give me your spin. Give me your two take on it.
So this is what Nisha said. We went for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
What she said to me was, we watch too much good movies and TV shows to fall for the fake plots, the corny timelines. It was just like I didn't feel smart. I felt like it felt cheap.
Storytelling. Okay.
It was cliche.
Okay.
To say the least.
Man, that's what people want.
And it wasn't that funny. They had some funny points. But it wasn't that funny. Martin looked sick in that goddamn movie, man.
Give me the setup. Give me the setup. What they all got their canes back, and they said, we're old. We're not old yet. We got one more to retirement.
All right, so basically, this is what happened.
Then some police chief was yelling at them like, Will Smith and Martin.
No.
You guys blowed up the spot again. Like, was it like one of those? Or
Nah. So they go back. Martin wants to retire. Martin retires.
We want him retired too. So
Mike Lowry's the same day your man is retiring. Mike Lowry gets shot.
Right. Okay. And then somebody gets shot, and so they got investigated for that. Like, so is that is it that one more ride? Like one of those things?
It's like it's like somebody wanted to assassinate Mike Lowry and all the other people that was involved in putting somebody's father in jail, husband in jail.
Okay, all right. Okay. But that's the general premise, and then there was explosions. And
plenty of explosions,
hilarity ensues.
Chases, plenty of that. it was on South Beach. The scenery. I just was there, so it felt like, we right there. Okay, there goes the.
Well, that's kind of fun, yeah.
Oh, there's a Cleveland. Oh, shit. There goes the what's name.
I didn't care for the second Bad Boys. I didn't care for it. I actually saw it in the theater with some friends of mine.
It just feels like those movies are played out.
I'm not a big fan of them just because that was at that point I was starting to watch action movies and
it was just
this is just 48 hours but it blown up and I was like I'm getting tired of this. I need substance. Like I like action movies but I need substance. And I remember watching that movie and I fell asleep. Like it was a Thursday night. My friends were like jumping to see this because it was an action flick. I wasn't going to be the wet blanket, so I said, "Let me go and check this out with my friends, my cousins, and stuff like that." And we went out. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, they were blowing up Miami, and then I woke up and they were blowing up Cuba. Right. And I was like, I didn't really feel it. So fast forward, you get to 2007, and I hear that they're making a Transformers movie, and me, I'm a big Transformers fan. Uh-huh. And so I was like, oh man, I wonder who the director is. And I kept hearing bad things about this guy, but I was like, give him a chance. This Michael Bay guy. Right. Turns out Michael Bay was the director of the Bad Boys I fell asleep to. So that was a premonition. that was already like telling me that my next 10 fucking years is going to be explosions in TNA, and I was going to see robots. So thank you. And I don't think he directed this one. So I heard that. When I follow Will Smith online and when he was talking about the movie, he hit you with that we the number one watch movie in this and blew the box office up and blah blah blah. And then it's bad when you don't hear nothing afterwards. You don't hear no like reviews, no variety, no comments. When if a movie is good, they be like, people say go see the movie 99% on Rotten Tomato. I didn't hear none of that shit.
Right. It was trash. I was tweeting inside the movie theater, Bad Boys Forever is trash.
I did see that. I commented with that Joe Budden going trash. That's Candor right there. Yes. You probably saved me a ticket, so I'm good.
Listen, I have a rule anyway. I only want to see blockbusters. And this was her pick. She looked over and
that was her pick. Okay.
Halfway through the movie, she goes, "You can take away my movie picking pass." It was trash.
I might go see that Sonic. I might go see Sonic. I heard it was good. And my expectations my bar is very low. Like I'm not excited about it. So,
Well, that was in the movies. That was inside an actual movie theater. So we're talking about the next one on Nerd News was on CBS.
Tell me about this because I am thinking about
streaming.
CBS All Access, and I do not want to spend money for another streaming thing. But Jean-Luc Picard is back, baby, and I'm a big
he's old.
Star Trek fan.
Jean-Luc is old, bro.
But he got that Earl Grey tea in him, man.
But he's still killing it. He's still killing. They got enough technology around him, enough good, strong actors around him, enough action around him. But I saw
Jonathan Frakes in that joint. He's back. Riker.
I've only seen up to episode 4, so Riker hasn't appeared, but
I saw him in a commercial.
They talk about Data because apparently Data's he has twin daughters.
Data has twin daughters.
Twin daughters. So Data's supposed to be dead.
Right, he died in the movie.
Yeah, he has twin daughters that one has contacted Picard.
Are they twin robot daughters, or were they twin human daughters that he raised?
Yes, they're twin. Not sentient beings, but what do they call those guys?
Androids.
Droids, yes.
Droids, yeah. Well, the Star Wars calls them droids. They're androids.
But they call them something else. I forgot. I might got a brain freeze at this point. But they, 7 of 9 shows up. She just showed up at the end of last episode.
I love that woman.
So, I mean, Romulan stuff, it's good. It's good. good. It got
Let me ask one question, one burning question about it. Now, the J.J. Abrams Star Trek pulled a timeline, reboot. Like they did a whole movie where Romulan went back in time and changed the things that happened in the order of the Enterprise and Kirk, which reboots the entire universe. Is this taking place in the old continuity, or is this an updated continuity based on the Abrams movies?
No, this is based on Star Trek Picard stuff, on whatever that was. Is that Enterprise, or was that? That was Enterprise.
You said Star Trek what?
Was that Enterprise, that series he was on?
No, he was on
Enterprise.
Next Generation.
That was Next Generation, yeah.
But what I'm saying is that when the J.J. Abrams movies came out, right?
Right.
A Romulan went back in time during one of the first movies and changed the timeline, which thus created a ripple effect and affected everything past Kirk's timeline. Mm-hmm. So Picard, everything about Picard, Cisco, Captain Janeway, all of them, their whole timeline changed because this Romulan went back in time. He destroyed Vulcan. Like in that version, for some reason, Winona Ryder was Spock's mother.
This is Next Generation's timeline.
But that's what I'm saying. It's all the same timeline. It's all the same timeline, but
they don't reference it. So I don't.
They don't reference it. And again, this could be one of those situations. I'm nerding out right now, right. But this could be one of those situations where the Romulan that went back in time affected Kirk's time, but it wasn't so drastic that it affected Picard's time. Like the only difference might be that Vulcan is destroyed. That was the big moment. It was like, fuck, Vulcan. Now
Vulcan is not destroyed.
Vulcan's not destroyed in this one?
But I believe the Romulan homeworld is destroyed.
Right, the Romulan's homeworld was destroyed way in the future, and Ambassador, it's a long story. We could go
right. So really this deals with Romulan refugees that Picard had to relocate. I mean, it's the backstory. You know what I'm saying? It's dope. It's when I tell you, it's dope.
That might actually, you know what? You just made me think that actually might be the same timeline, because I remember that the Romulans were displaced way in the future, and I think maybe Ambassador Spock was, when he was an ambassador after he got out of Starfleet, he was trying to save them, and then it ended up kind of screwing him. Everything got screwed.
This is some nerd shit.
No, we haven't had a lot of nerd shit because we've been talking all this Trump, Wu-Tang, Orlando. I want to talk about this shit. Fuck Orlando Brown. Get out the trap house, nigga.
This is deep. It's deep. So Trump. So Picard is retired. He's living on his winery property.
The same winery I want to live on.
Yeah,
he's drinking Romulan ale.
Chateau Picard. He's out there chilling, and they brought him back into the. He had to get back into the game because of Data's daughters or whatever. Right. He tried to get a ship from.
What are Data's daughters' name? Like Bit Crush and Megabyte. Is one of them named
Taji
Info?
And something. I don't know. But anyway, he tries to get a ship and assistance from the Federation. They say, "Get the fuck out of here."
Right. Fuck you. We don't. You say
he threw them under the bus for the Romulan during the Romulan evacuation of their planet.
Fuck them. You know how many times he saved them? He saved them from the Borg. That should be enough, man. That's the problem with mob mentality. That's mob mentality right there.
They treating them dirty.
They treating them dirty. Why you gonna treat my man? He saved y'all so many times.
They got no respect. None.
Okay, stop. My joint just cut off. Okay, I'm back on.
Okay. All right.
Let me save. Hold on. Okay, go.
Yeah, man.
We can clip that. But yeah. But woo, man. So nerds. That's what I like hearing. I want to hear more nerd culture. Yeah, we're gonna nerd it up next time because I want to hear more about this. I haven't
been watching it on CBS. I'm gonna confess. I've been watching it on Kodi, which is my Fire Stick app. You know what I mean? So I just pull it up. So,
because I was about to ask you for the password.
You got,
All right,
a fire
so-
stick, man. We got 5, 6 on every TV in the house. Well, right now, we don't.
So
we
if
live in a
Brianna was
one-bedroom.
here, she would tell us to wrap it up.
Yes, so we're gonna wrap it up.
Hopefully you guys have been listening, and I hope you like and subscribe, and we're gonna have more and more and more information. If you get a chance to,
Before you go,
yeah,
back on the nerd news really quick. Guess where I got the term absolute candor.
where?
That was the name of that last episode.
Oh, I said Star Trek too.
There's a set of Romulan monks, Romulan nuns that subscribe to the way of absolute candor.
Nunulans.
They nuns.
Nunulans.
Dope.
You know what you call a Romulan that has a whole bunch of fun and has bad breath? Funulans.
So Picard is friends with one of the head nuns, Romulan nuns.
I like how you keep going and don't acknowledge my joke. But yeah,
the whole way through the episode, she tells the truth through the whole shit.
Is she black?
Yeah, she is black.
She black?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how it is. I'm gonna tell it from the Romulan side of things.
I don't know if you remember Underground. Did you see Underground?
No.
She played the mother in Underground.
I gotta look
She's
that
a
up.
dope actress. I don't know her name though.
But yeah, man, like and subscribe, everybody. We really appreciate all of the love. We've been getting all of the hate that Al is getting, because I want to make it clear Al is doing all that trolling stuff on
Yes, that's
Instagram.
me, man, and that's me.
You.
And I get your friends on here with their feelings hurt because I done trolled them and shit.
No, don't you troll my friends.
Apparently, I hurt one of your friends' feelings and shit.
Nah. No.
Listen, it's called trolling for friends. It's not called we being nice. It's called we trolling for friends, for Christ's sakes. We're going to find things funny that you may not find funny.
Yeah, I don't necessarily find funny, but I'll call you out on it. That's the fun part. Because you know what?
I want your absolute candor, sir. If you oppose something, oppose it. This is trolling for friends. This is about debate, bro.
I will.
Let's debate.
All right.
All right, listen.
It's gonna be a mass debate.
Okay. I want to thank you for joining our illustrious podcast.
Yes.
We will see you next week. We're going to take us out with my man Barack Obama with the words of wisdom.
If you're tired of arguing with strangers on the internet, try talking with one of them in real life.